Welcome back to the Car Conversations podcast. This week, I'm going to go into a little bit more depth on how to tell if you have a bad head gasket. We briefly talked about this last week. However, I feel like I didn't do too good of a job explaining it, so I want to explain it a little further. As you can see here, this is my 2002 Jeep Liberty. And as we walk around to the front of it, I'm just going to show you real quickly the coolant level. If you notice, my level is a little low, and that's one of the ways you can tell that you have a bad head gasket. If you notice that you're leaking coolant a lot, however, you don't have any noticeable signs of a leak, that may be a sign that you have a bad head gasket. Another way to tell is by looking at your oil. In here, my head gasket isn't bad, so you won't really be able to see. However, if you have really white, frothy oil, almost like a milkshake, that's one way you can tell that you have a bad head gasket, and that's probably one of the better, more sure tell signs. So you can check on the dipstick like I'm doing here, or you can check on the oil fill nozzle or reservoir like I did previously. So the reason why your oil will get kind of that frothy white color is because when coolant mixes with the oil caused by a bad head gasket, for whatever reason, the coolant and the oil combined kind of make it really frothy and white, almost like I said, a milkshake. And I'll throw a picture up of what you would look for and what it would look like when the two combine and mix together. And then the final way you can tell you have a bad head gasket is if you come around to the back. Now, this only works when the car is running, obviously, but look to see the color of your exhaust. If you have real thick plumes of white exhaust, kind of like this, but a lot worse, like really thick, constant plumes of white exhaust, that is a sure tell sign that you have a bad head gasket. And if you're unsure after following all these steps, another good thing to grab is one of these combustion leak detectors. And you can get them real cheap. I think I got mine from Harbor Freight for about $30. And you also need to get the liquid as well, which I don't show you in this video. But all it is this little container that you pour the liquid in, and then you'll put this onto either your radiator or, like I show you in this video, onto your coolant reservoir. And as the car is running, you'll do a couple strong pumps of that little ball on top of this little container. And if the color of the liquid that you pour in this container changes from the dark blue to a yellow color, that's a sure tell sign that you have a head gasket leak. So these are just a few ways to tell if you have a head gasket leak or not. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and I'll put a little picture right here of just kind of the color change that you would get with a combustion leak detector.